Ada Lovelace, the woman who coded before computers existed. She wrote the first algorithm, a century before the machine to run it existed. Imagine writing software for a computer that doesn't exist. No screen, no keyboard, no electricity, no processor, nothing. And yet, in the 1840s, one woman did exactly that. Her name was Ada Lovelace, and long before Silicon Valley, long before the internet, and long before the first electronic computer flickered to life, she imagined a future where machines could do more than calculate numbers. She saw a world nobody else could see. And because of that vision, many historians call her the world's first computer programmer. This is the remarkable story of the woman who coded before computers existed. Chapter 1. A Child Born into Fame. Ada Lovelace was born on December 10, 1815, in London, England. Her full name was Augusta Ada Byron. If the surname sounds familiar, that's because her father was none other than Lord Byron, one of the most famous poets in history. But Ada barely knew him. Just weeks after her birth, her parents separated. Her mother, Lady Anne Isabella Byron, feared Ada might inherit her father's emotional and unpredictable nature. To prevent that, she pushed Ada toward something unusual for girls of that era: mathematics and science. At a time when most women were discouraged from studying advanced subjects, Ada spent her childhood solving equations, studying geometry, and exploring mechanical inventions. Her mother believed logic could protect her daughter from chaos. Ironically, it was Ada's combination of logic and imagination that would make her extraordinary. Chapter 2. The Girl Who Dreamed of Flying Machines. As a teenager, Ada wasn't interested only in mathematics. She was fascinated by machines. She studied birds. She analyzed the structure of wings. She sketched designs for a flying machine she called a flying horse. She filled notebooks with diagrams and calculations. Most people saw machinery as tools. Ada saw possibilities. She wanted to understand how things worked, and more importantly, what they could become. This curiosity would eventually lead her to a man whose ideas were decades ahead of his time. A man building a machine that could think through numbers. Chapter 3. Meeting the Father of Computers. In 1833, when Ada was just 17 years old, she attended a social gathering where she met mathematician and inventor Charles Babbage. Babbage showed guests a model of his invention known as the difference engine. The machine was designed to perform complex mathematical calculations automatically. To most visitors, it was an impressive mechanical device. To Ada, it was something much bigger. She immediately understood the revolutionary potential behind the machine. Babbage was impressed by her intelligence. Soon, the two began exchanging ideas and letters. Their partnership would become one of the most important collaborations in the history of computing. Chapter 4. The Machine. Nobody understood. Charles Babbage soon moved beyond the difference engine. He began designing something even more ambitious: the Analytical Engine. Unlike calculators of the time, this machine wasn't designed for a single task. It could be programmed. It had components resembling a modern computer's memory, processor, and input system. In theory, it could perform different operations based on instructions. But there was one problem. Nobody truly understood what this machine might become. Nobody except Ada. Where others saw gears and cogs, Ada saw a new form of intelligence. She believed the machine could manipulate symbols, not just numbers. This was a radical idea, and it would change history. Chapter 5. The First Computer Program. In 1842, an Italian engineer named Luigi Menabrea wrote an article explaining Babbage's Analytical Engine. Ada was asked to translate it from French into English. Most translators would simply translate. Ada did something different. She added her own notes, and those notes became longer than the original article itself. Within them was something extraordinary. Ada described a step-by-step process that instructed the analytical engine how to calculate Bernoulli numbers. Today, we would call this a computer program, an algorithm, a sequence of instructions telling a machine exactly what to do. And this is why Ada Lovelace is widely recognized as the world's first computer programmer. The machine never existed in her lifetime. The program was never executed. Yet the logic was there. The code existed, more than 100 years before modern computers. Chapter 6: The Vision That Changed Everything. Ada's greatest achievement wasn't merely writing an algorithm. It was seeing what computers could become. In her notes, she wrote something astonishing. She suggested that